Huh. I feel like this is Coyote. This is a question for Coyote.
Take a playful look with Enfys Book as they roll for crit hits with pagan wordsmiths. Hi there, and welcome to Four Quick Cues Book Talk with Enfys. I'm Enfys J. Book, and on this show, I ask pagan authors four quick questions chosen by a roll of the dice. Today, I'm super excited to introduce you to Ash McKernan, pronouns he, him, who's a licensed psychotherapist, ecotherapist, bard, lifelong explorer of weird, and author of the book Wyrdcraft, Healing Self and Nature Through the Mysteries of the Fates. Ash currently lives in Western North Carolina, where he loves to spend time at the crossroads where psyche, nature, magic, dancing, and healing intersect. Ash, it's lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, it's lovely to be here.
I'm so excited to talk to you. I really enjoyed reading Weirdcraft. It's just such a very cohesive philosophy that I love. I love reading pagan books written by psychotherapists in particular. I think that's a particular niche I love because it's so holistic. You know, it's not just the niche of spirituality, but it really interweaves psychology as well.
Yeah, I love it too. It weaves so naturally well together in my mind, but
It
yeah.
really does. And like eco psychology and how we live with the earth and everything. It
Yeah,
it was just a really incredible read.
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, the psychotherapy and ecotherapy to me are magic. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and you could call it ecotherapy or you could call it nature worship. It's still therapy, right?
It is still therapy. Yeah. So, have you ever been interviewed by a dice before?
Yes, but but
You
never in this way.
have.
Yes.
Never in this way.
Yeah. I've played D&D, a good amount, and
Mm.
so sometimes you have to roll to decide your fate, and I feel like
Mm.
that is the universe asking that particular world asking, what is your fate going to be, and asking
There
other
you go.
questions, what are you going to do in this situation, or will your perception check pass? So
Mm.
in a way, yes, but also no, never like this.
But also no.
Yeah.
Well, as we were talking about before we hit record, one of our traditions here on the show is to have the guest name the dice for the purpose of the interview. So, our dice today is a clear dice with a little ball of non binary pride stripes in the middle of it. What would you like to name this D20 today?
I would like to name this D20 Coyote. And
Coyote.
yeah, Coyote. I want to know what Coyote wants to know. And and Coyote is my cat. My cat who passed away a year ago. And
Aw.
so it's the anniversary. And I was thinking about Coyote a lot yesterday on April Fool's Day, because he was certainly a fool and a trickster, obviously. And so what does he want to know? How is he going to show up today? How is Coyote going to show up today? We'll see.
We'll find out. All, all right, Coyote,
I'm
let's see what the
I'm a little
first
scared.
question is.
I'm a little scared, but I'm ready.
You have nothing to fear. You're in good hands.
But fear
All
itself.
right. Coyote says, question 11. What is your favorite spirituality festival or conference, if you have one?
I do. I do. And that is Starwood.
Hmm.
And it may be it may be well, Starwood happens at a campground called Wisteria Campground. And it may just be Wisteria that I love, you know, because they do multiple fests in the year and stuff. But I will say that my experiences at Starwood have, um, I'll be processing them the rest of my life, kind of thing. Like, and they happen every year, so I get to go again, and I'm super excited. And I'm actually presenting at Starwood this year. So
Oh, great.
I presented last year, and the year before that, I just went, and I was debating, should I go or should I present or not? It's so awesome either way. And I tell you, it's where I learned a lot about the old ways, meaning the ways of the fire, the drum, and the circle. And of course, all sorts of magics weaving in and out, so many, as any festival or gathering would have. But I've been to others I love, but something about Starwood, it's that heart fire that that called me for probably decades. I realized that after going there, that my path to that experience at the final night was really decades in the making. And you know how you hear, "Oh, welcome home," coming at different gatherings and stuff, and it's so true. And home is everywhere, and home is at all these moments. But but it was one of those experiences for me, like, oh yeah, I felt like a moth just going right into the flame, just in the most beautiful way. And it charged me up in ways that I can't um, comprehend too. But magically, um, psychologically, inspirationally, creatively, etc. So yeah, thank you to all the organizers of that festival, and to the history of that festival, and to the future of that festival, and to all the people who come together to create it together, because it's a co-creation, and that's part of the beauty of it. It's it's the drummers, it's the dancers, it's the fire tenders, it's the people watching, it's the plants and animals around, and the stars above, and all the love. So
I love that. That one's in July, right?
it is. Yeah, it's in Southeast
Yeah.
Ohio.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I love that kind of festival. I especially am just a huge fan of a good bonfire circle dance.
Hmm.
I think is something that I need to have at least annually. That experience. It charges me
Hmm.
up. It helps me feel more grounded. I
Hmm.
think you just can't underestimate the importance of a good fire circle.
Yeah, lose your mind and come to your senses. That's what that's what Fritz Perls, the he was one of the founders of Gestalt therapy.
Hmm.
He was a big phenomenologist and present moment, kind of like a Zen trickster. It's kind of like Zen trickster's therapy in a way. But yeah, that's what he said, and I think it's really true. You have to go, you have to let go, and that circle and that fire and those drums help. They really help with that, and it's so healing because we remember things that are so deep in our being, and so timeless. And that remembering is therapy. Like that's the a
Yeah.
deep, that's like 6 months of therapy or something in a week. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
cool
that
how
kind of
they,
reconnection.
yeah. Mm. I was just gonna say that it's cool that they have the fire every night too. And so, and you can dip in and out whenever you want.
That is really nice.
Yep.
Well, let's go to question 2 is about writing. Coyote says 19. What is a magical text you keep referring back to and why?
That is a really tough one. So the first one that kind of comes to mind when I think about this is a fiction, like a fantasy series. It's the Kingkiller Chronicles of,
Yes!
yeah, about the
Patrick
bard.
Rothfuss.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Kvothe. In the name of the wind, right, and the wise man sphere, and there's like a third one coming, and yeah, that is a beautiful magical text. Like um, the way that he describes magic through the practice of sympathy, or that's what he calls it. I mean, there's little eggs in it, like as above, so below, stuff like that. But the way I think he is a truly gifted author in the sense of being able to weave a spell, a visual, emotional, psychological, just spiritual spell of the way he describes music, for one, like the performing, the bard performing. As a musician myself, I just feel seen. I'm just like, whoa, holy cow, really talented. Like getting into these, I don't even know how to describe those phenomenological detail sounds so like sterile, but um, very beautiful writing, and it's just like I I feel maybe I see myself, or I want to see myself in the main character, having played music my whole life too, so it's extra cool, and been a magician my whole life, and a magician kind of awakening, just the slow process, and that's what you see in the book too. Is like the main character's awakening process, and his foil fumbles and foibles, and it's messy, and it's really relational too. I love psyche, and it really gets into the relationships and the dynamics of the past and the present and the future, and really explores weird in this beautiful way. Um, Weird in the sense of like strange and odd and unusual and mystical, um, and also in the sense of this divine unfolding evolution soul journey process that the main character is going through, and other people, the the other characters, close characters in the book, but without spoiling too much, I guess. Um, I didn't know anything about the book when I read it, so I was like totally, I didn't hear anything about it, and I really appreciated that. So I guess I don't want to say too much. I fear I already have. Oh no.
I mean, I read those. I've been waiting on that third book for what, a decade now?
Hmm.
We're still waiting on that, but I never thought I would stay up so late past my bedtime because I absolutely had to find out if he could pay his student loans or not. Like, I've never, the plot hooks, when you describe them to people, are like, that sounds really boring,
Yeah.
but he makes them so compelling. And yeah, I'm literally staying up too late, like, will he pay his student loan?
Yeah.
And it's so important, and it so much hinges on it. And I just, yeah, I really, they're beautifully written, as you say. I was an English major, so I'm a little bit snobbish with my novels, and those are just right in my sweet spot of everything I want in a book. They're funny,
Yeah.
they're suspenseful, they're well written.
Hmm. I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
big
it's
fan.
it's cool hearing that just with that background of yours, because it feels like a special book reading it, and but without, I don't have a background in that stuff, so I'm just enjoying it along, and yeah, it totally, what you say just validates it. It's awesome.
Yeah. I definitely read some trash too, but like those are the
Oh
ones where
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this is like literature. This is literature.
Mm, mm-hmm,
And I can feel proud of it.
mm, yeah,
But yeah, Patrick Rothfuss is amazing. I really hope the third book comes out sometime in the next 5 to 10 years.
yeah.
Would be awesome because we're all a little bit in suspense. What
Oh,
happens? It's got to
so
resolve.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I'm listening to it actually on audio.
Oh,
So
nice. I've heard the audiobooks are quite good.
yeah, it's like being around, sitting around the campfire hearing a story, which is very much the
Mm-hmm.
vibe in the book too, and a lot of it is the storytelling aspect of it. So it's been
Yeah.
enjoyable, and there's so many magical books. That's such a good question, and a few others came to mind just as we were talking, but we'll save that for another time.
There you go. Well, let's see what Coyote has for question 3. Number 7. Oh, kind of related. Is there another magical or pagan author who leaves you in awe?
Certainly, yeah, and that's an interesting question, Coyote. Uh, I think it's Christopher Hughes.
Hmm.
Yeah, seeing and I haven't seen him speak for a few years, but you know when I saw him, then it was super inspiring. And I had the feeling like he really, like the Awen, what's called, yeah, the Awen in him, he was doing magic just by giving his talk. And like a light, like a light came through, and that illuminated everybody else's lights in a way. It's a beautiful experience. And I wish I could see him speak again soon, because it's been, yeah, I think it was at PantheaCon like 2019 or something. We just haven't crossed paths. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting him this just a few weeks ago at Paganicon in Minneapolis. He was one of the featured presenters. And my goodness, what a delight he is as a human. Just so funny and so full of life and knows so much about so many things. He has a new tarot deck out called the Bee Tarot, and it's all about bees and hives, and it's really quite lovely. The art is just gorgeous. But I was really struck by, as you say, when he teaches, he lights up the room, and you can see everyone's lights popping at the same time and really getting inspired. So
I like
that's
that
it's a unique
popping.
talent.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it makes me think of these like really, really honed in, skilled musicians and stuff that are on the
Mm-hmm.
stage, and they just have the whole audience in the palm of their hand through the show, and the audience is loving it, and the musicians are loving it, and it creates this beautiful flow, this kind of maybe lemniscate flow, between, and it feeds itself. It's a beautiful flame, and we get to worship around that flame. Not just the flame of Chris, but the flame of everybody, and then the flame beyond everybody. So that Alwyn, I feel like that his ability to transmit Alwyn through his ancestral line too. That's like, it feels especially powerful too. It feels like a gift to be given, to have to bear witness to the druids of old. And then, this could be my projection. Like, I don't know what they were like, no, it seems real and timeless, and it's bardic, and it's druidic, and um, inspiring. And well, what else could we ask for in life? I mean, we need help, and I think he does offer a lot of help in that, like giving people hope, and um, just being like a total like hype man. It's like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
we got this. Like, it's hard, but we got this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
a lot of the teachers, that, they say the same thing, but in with different words, right?
All right. So for this last question, Coyote gets a four-sided friend,
A
and we're going
four-sided
to
friend.
choose
Hmm.
a four-sided die to choose the random encounter question.
Random encounter question.
We're going to ask you a question from a table of 80 possibilities. It's a random encounter table, so we'll see what we get. 19 and 1.
Is that 20?
They don't add up. They're different columns and rows.
Ah,
All right. If you could travel anywhere for just one meal, where would you go and what would you eat?
anywhere for one meal. Huh. I feel like this is Coyote. This is a question for Coyote.
Could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Where would Coyote go for a meal?
I just feel so much love. I think he'd come hang out with me. I'm offering him this. I'm offering the food right here and right now, and he's here, and he's. It's like what it is. It's like this kind of soup. It's a chicken. It's like a powder, right? And you put water in it and stir it up, and it turns into soup because he only had 3 teeth. So he's lapping up that chicken broth right now, and he's purring.
Oh,
Yeah. And we're just going to hang for a bit, I guess. So thank you. Thanks for bringing Coyote around.
it's my pleasure and honor. I'm glad you get that time together.
I'm glad we all did. Yeah.
So I'd love it if you could tell us about anything you'd like to share with the audience about your book, any upcoming events, and where to find you online.
Upcoming events. Let's see. Starwood, mentioned that. That's in July. Hopefully some stuff after that. Nothing planned yet, and you can find me online on Instagram at Weird Wild Web, WYRDWILDWEB, and on Facebook at Ash McKernan. And I have a website that I'm renovating right now. It's www.weirdwildweb.com. So yeah, and on there's psychotherapy offerings, or as I like to say, psyche therapy offerings, because I think soul therapy is kind of a more appropriate word for that process, psyche therapy. And I don't know, psychotherapy is all right. I legally have to call myself a psychotherapist, but yeah, so psyche therapy, Wyrdcraft, and ecotherapy, spiritual coaching, existential crises. I don't know, the range of stuff. So yeah, I am open for clients on my license in California. So if you're Californian and are looking for heathen, pagan, animist, etc., therapist to explore soul or magic or whatever, reach out. Feel free to reach out. And yeah, I'll be doing local groups in the area too, in Asheville and maybe surrounding parts, of kind of like weird process groups and group sharing, group therapy, but through the lens of our weird, and weird as a greater thing and mystery. But thank you. I really appreciate the time here. Am I forgetting a question? Actually, did I answer
No,
everything?
you covered it all.
Okay.
You did.
Thank you again for having me here and for doing this podcast. I can't wait to hear this one and others.
Thank you so much for being here, Ash. It's been my pleasure to have you. And everyone should check out Wyrdcraft. It's a really incredible book that weaves together not only spirituality, but mental health and our planet and all kinds of really interesting threads that all come together in our lives. Thanks to everyone listening for listening to my weird, nerdy little dice-based interview show. And if you enjoyed this episode of 4 Quick Cues Book Talk with Enfys, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review on your podcast app of choice. Check out more content from me, Enfys, on majorarqueerna.com. That's MAJORARQUEERNA.com. Wherever time it is where you are, have a fantastic day, and may the dice of fate roll well for you.
Thanks for listening to 4 Quick Cues.